On the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, here we are on Wednesday. We're moving right along through this week, halfway there after today. So, or midway through today. So, I hope you're having a good week. We're going to start with news.
All right. Police were able to arrest a man who was on the run for more than a month. He was actually wounded by another man in an altercation, hospitalized, but escaped the hospital early without doctor's orders of letting him go. But he ran off and then was gone for a month. He was in trouble for some very serious offenses: kidnapping, first-degree assault, and robbery and burglary. He's also accused of holding a man hostage and severely beating him. 39-year-old Larry Lillard is no longer on the run. 3 fires intentionally set inside people's homes, and now a man is charged in the crimes. They all happen in Cedar County. Police say Kenneth Wayne Johnson Jr. from El Dorado Springs admitted to police that he intentionally set those fires. One house was a total loss because of it. He's in jail on a $40,000 cash-only bond.
Wow. Okay. You know, we told you about all the ATM thefts that have been happening across our area in Missouri. And as we suspected, they are in fact connected, according to authorities. The bandits may be from Texas. They think it's an organized ring that apparently knows what it's doing, because it's gotten away with several of these. Local authorities say the group typically uses stolen vehicles to pull down the ATMs and to rip it open so the cash is accessible. That makes it tough for them to track down. They're also from out of state. So finding them is not the easiest thing in the world, especially because they pick their sites scattered in rural counties. But police are looking, and we'll let you know when and if they arrest somebody. Meanwhile, puppy mills still an issue in the Midwest, just throughout the whole area. Now 62 dogs have been rescued and placed in Missouri's Humane Society in St. Louis. To try to nurse them back to health. The animals will get emergency vet treatment and some TLC, which they are apparently sorely lacking.
We will likely get word today on whether the Missouri State University is going to be paying more for tuition. Yeah, multiple universities are going up at a time. I should point out that the Biden administration is efforting to forgive billions of dollars in student loan debt. So that's interesting timing. If this rate increase is approved, MSU students will likely pay about 4% more for classes, from $279 per credit hour to $290 per credit hour for undergrads. The MSU Board of Governors looking at a list of price hikes to be decided on today. So how does MSU stack up, you might ask? Leaders there say that there's only one other college in Missouri out of 12 in the state that currently is less expensive. So there's your comparison. There's a lot of universities, according to them, going up. So,
well, that's a fair argument that we're still cheaper than everybody else. But that doesn't mean, it just the cost of higher education is out of control.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy because we're talking about another billions of dollar package to forgive student loan debt. So it's like, this doesn't compute. You know what I mean?
And taxpayers pay that. It's not like the universities are forgiving the debt. The taxpayers are paying
it off. Yes, but all right. Some of the Lake Country soccer fields in Springfield are getting a facelift. Construction is underway on 8 brand new turf fields. In fact, games apparently could be played on some of those new fields as soon as this weekend. So that would be awesome. The turf should be complete by mid-December, because they've been working on some of them. Obviously, they had to have been.
I didn't realize they were actually working on them. Wow.
So
that's great.
Yeah.
You know what forced their hand, which is a good thing, is that the Sportstown opened up, and I think there's a movement throughout the area now to try to get some great facilities to bring in tournaments, because we play a lot of soccer. We practice out at Sportstown with our boy, and we go to tournaments. We're going to one this weekend in Kansas City, and they've got just really nice facilities. But beyond that, they have several really nice facilities.
Right.
And that's able to bring in the tournaments, and people, when they're in town for tournaments, we're going to spend a lot of money on hotels, and we're going to spend a lot of money on food and all the stuff that goes along with a weekend out of town.
Yeah.
So
So
that's the hope.
that is this story. And then coupling that with your next story is we also swim a lot out of town and even out of state because, again, of facilities. So take it away, Mr. Forehead.
That leads me to this. Springfield could be getting a new aquatic center, which we would love. If so, it would sit right in front of the brand new Betty and Bobby Allison Sports Town, is what you see out there by the airport. It would be called the Well Aquatic Center and be 70,000 square feet with a long course pool. That would double the length of most pools in our area. Right now, we don't have a long course pool, and there's an entire season of competition devoted to long
Yeah.
course. Is that
Meador
right, Sarah?
Park, I think, right there by the Battlefield Mall is
Oh,
technically long course, but they don't really have long course meets out there.
well, it's outdoor
So, and
too.
it's just, and it's outside,
An
and it's
outdoor
outside.
pool.
So
Yeah.
it's not like a year-round practice
This
facility.
would be indoor. Yeah. The group behind it says the aquatic center would include platform diving, competitive swimming, therapy swimming, and entry-level swimming options as well. The well was registered as a nonprofit with the Missouri Secretary of State's office just last month. So it's interesting. It's a nonprofit. So we'll see if and when that can come to fruition.
Yeah, it was interesting because the Springfield Business Journal did a story on it, and I read theirs, which is a lot more detailed than the one that we did. But I still don't know for sure that it's coming. You know what I mean? It still sounds like only a maybe. Did you get that
They're
impression? Did you
working on,
read
yeah,
SBJ's?
they're efforting that.
They're efforting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So man, I'm hopeful. Woohoo.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about funding in there, so I don't know if they have the funding, how much it would
Yeah.
cost, but when they
That's why
can.
it's interesting that it's a nonprofit too, huh?
Right. Yeah. So this could be the early round of them just gathering the group so that they can gather
Right.
donations, and we'll see. We'll see. This is really sad. I hated this when I saw this yesterday. Cardinals Nation is mourning the loss of legendary St. Louis Cardinals manager Whitey Herzog. He was also a Kansas City Royals manager for a while. He passed away, and what a baseball legacy he left behind. Whitey managed the Cardinals to the World Series championship back in 1982, and that I can tell you, as at that time a 10-year-old living in St. Louis, in the St. Louis area, that was a moment that I'll never forget. It was the most exciting moment of my childhood. It was the Cardinals winning the World Series. He took them back to the World Series in 1985, which of course they lost to the Royals. I won't get into that whole thing, but I think that was wrong. And Royals fans and Cardinals know exactly what I'm talking about. He also took them back in 1987, and they ended up losing to the Twins in that one. He was inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2010 and had more than almost 1,300 wins as a manager with mostly the Cardinals, the Royals, the Rangers, Angels. Whitey Herzog, the White Rat, as they called him, was 92 years old. And I got to meet him a couple of times. My favorite time was meeting him down at Fantasy Camp. I got to go down and play baseball with the Cardinals legends at Fantasy Camp down in Jupiter, Florida in 2007, I think that was.
Yeah,
And he
I
was
think so
down
too. It
there.
was the year we got married.
Yeah, he was down there, and I interviewed him. He signed some pictures. So I have a great signed picture by Whitey Herzog. And my favorite part of that event down at Fantasy Camp was that in the evenings, we'd get together. It'd be like a banquet. There'd be food, and then all of the Hall of Famers and all of the former Cardinals would sit up on a dais, and they would just talk about the old days. They'd tell stories, and most of the stories involved Whitey in some form. Whitey was always quite thirsty, so he was always taking care of his thirst at those events, if you know what I'm saying. So he was free to talk, and he would tell some stories, some of which he shouldn't be telling.
He had some liquid courage.
Yeah, but it was something. He's a legend in St. Louis. And what's amazing is that just 12 days ago, I think 13 days ago now, at the home opener for the Cardinals, there he was in his red jacket that shows he's a Cardinals Hall of Famer.
That's cool.
And he was there.
I knew
So
you'd
that
be upset when I saw Whitey died. I was not with you, but I was like, "Oh, Ethan's bummed right now."
Yeah, I am bummed. What's weird is that now it seems like this is really weird that Ozzy is like the standard bearer of all the old former Cardinals because we've lost
Yeah.
all the other ones. Lou
Yeah.
Brock, Bob Gibson, Red Shandies, all of those guys are gone now, and Ozzy's like the next biggest guy, which is
Yeah.
weird because he was always one of the younger guys. But time marches on. But I'll miss Whitey. He was a treasure for St. Louis.
Yeah. All right. Today is the midweek matinee at the Galois Theater in downtown Springfield. They are showing Dirty Dancing. The show starts at 2:00. Doors open at 1. And don't forget that ticket and concession voucher combos are available that include your ticket, popcorn, and a drink. And if you're a senior citizen who lives in Greene or Christian County, you can get in for free. So that's really cool.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a combo ticket. So it's not just a free entry, but also popcorn and soda pop
There you
as
go.
well. All right, here is a chance to learn about some tough history on the big screen. The second annual Holocaust Education and Awareness Week is happening right now at the IMAX Theater in Branson. They're showing movies about the Holocaust, specifically focusing on kids and the kids impacted during it. The
Wow.
Anti-Semitism Education Center of the Ozarks says it's a great way to educate yourself and your children against hatred and genocide so that no one repeats it. The group also, in their press release, praised then President Trump for legislation that allows them to get money to put this type of thing on through the Holocaust Museum in DC, which that was a legislative action. So in addition to the movies that they're showing, they also have some exhibits set up in the IMAX lobby. You need to get your tickets right now for the week's events. You can do that at bransonimax.com.
Well, it's good timing because I think we need a refresher.
Yeah, I just listened to. I just for the first time read The Watchmaker's Daughter, Corrie ten Boom's story with her dad and then her sister and family. And yeah, that book was written many decades ago, and I felt like it could have been written yesterday, to be honest with you. It was really just remarkably done. The Watchmaker's Daughter. Anyway, if you haven't read it, I mean, it's old, so it's a classic a lot of people have, but that's what this made me think of. I was like, wow, that's funny because I just finished that book a couple months ago and was super moved and challenged. And all right, finally, you will see this at aroundtheozarks.com. It is a community kickball tournament this weekend. It's on Sunday afternoon. Actually starts at noon on Sunday, April 21st. It's at the Meador Sports Complex, right there by the mall behind Battlefield Road. The park concession is going to be open for lunchtime. Again, that's this Sunday, April 21st at noon. And
Cool.
if for any reason it's raining, they will have a backup date on April 28th.
All right. There's plenty going on. That's for sure.
Yeah. A little community kickball. I love kickball.
I used to love kickball.
I
Kickball
love
was fun.
kickball. It's a good time. So
Yeah.
anyway, there you go. There's your weekend plan if you don't have anything else going on.
That's great.
Okay. That's all we got. We hope to see you back here tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Have yourself a fantastic Wednesday, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.